Purdy throwing. It's caught. Touchdown. And a flag is down on the far side at the 11-yard line. So for the moment, Ronnie Bell gets into the end zone.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
I'd like to point this out. I look up to him. I think he's a phenomenal broadcaster. However, I'd like to say that Al Michaels has officially arrived at what I like to call Pat Summerallville, which is that he calls touchdowns with 4 words. Purdy throws, touchdown.
Economy
49ers.
of words. Yes, I love it.
It's awesome. Both of the touchdown passes last night. Purdy, end zone, touchdown. All right, see you later.
Economy of words.
$17 million a year to do that.
It's so great. That's always
incredible.
been my bit with Joe Buck on the David Tyree play.
Yes.
Manning gets away, throws, helmet, Tyree, first down. Joe, thank you.
My favorite example of another, I feel like we talked about this once before, but do you remember? And I think it was Mike Patrick, and it was a primetime football game, Niners and Bills, probably 25 years ago at least, maybe more. When did Lee Woodall play? Because it was when Plummer and Woodall
that's late 90s,
were the linebackers, okay? And I think it was Thurman Thomas. Bills were at the 1, and goal line play. And Thurman gets the ball and tries to go over the top. And I think it was Plummer who met him and lodged the fumble loose. And Woodall picks it up and goes a hundo the other direction for a touchdown. And I think Mike Patrick did that in 7 words or less. It was so amazing. It was just like, Thomas hit, Woodall, Lee Woodall, touchdown. I mean, that's it.
1995.
Thank you.
96-yard
there it is.
Fumble 6 for Lee Woodall. Mike Patrick and Joe Thiesman on the call.
Thiesman for Heisman.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was so great.
It was the Plummer on the hit. Woodall with the scoop. Great memory.
So I was 21 years old,
wow.
and I was like, I'm going to do that for a living. Let's talk into microphones. I did not gather the whole 7 words or less part.
I'll say.
Unfortunately.
Took the joke right out of my mouth.
Of you. Yeah, you can only do what you can do.
I know. You like to shoot your shot. It might be all you've got. Yeah, exactly. I like it. Great call. Great throw by Brock Purdy. I went through the rewatch today, and I took my copious play-by-play notes.
Oh, my gosh. Look at those chicken scratches.
And for those of you in the YouTube audience, yes, it's play-by-play shorthand. Oh. And so what I was doing this morning is obviously down and distance the play, a little bit of the formation, so I could tell you that they were in 11 personnel there, 1 running back, 1 tight end, but they went empty. Great throw is what I have in my notes, and that was a great throw to Ronnie Bell.
It really was. And I wonder if on TV it really captured the blitz was right in Brock's face, and he does – the only way I can describe it was a duck throw. And I don't mean that it came out like a quacker.
Right.
I mean that he actually ducked. He's like, wah! And you know what went through my head on that play was his injury. And I wonder, because if you go back to what happened in Philly in January, Brock has a defender coming, and he's about to throw, and obviously missed times. He thinks he can get the throw off, and he can't. And I wonder about these situations going forward. When a defender is coming, when do you either fire the ball earlier than you want to, which I saw him do a couple times, take the sack, move, whatever it is, so that your arm does not get hit in the act of throwing. I would imagine that if I were him, I'd be like, a little triggered by that idea and really wanting to avoid it. And I thought of it on that play because he really kind of ducked out of the way of the defender and just threw to a spot. And he's just like, I'm going to huck it right now, because Ronnie had not turned around yet. And then Ronnie broke for the pylon and turned around. The ball almost hit him right there in the helmet. Yeah. So it was beautiful. Really, really good throw.
Great throw, great timing, and Bell with a good route and shielding the defender and able to get to the pylon and make the catch, and then pop, get those 2 feet in quickly and precisely right before the chalk. It was a thing of beauty.
Did we just get word? Did Alan Stiles hear that he had been unceremoniously attacked on this radio show
by Mitch Willard?
That's right. And don't call me Mitch. That's what Christian McCaffrey says to defenders. Remember when he looked at it? Yeah, when Keller Witherspoon.
Mitch!
He's like, "What up, Mitch?"
Oh yeah, something like
Get
that.
Get off me, Mitch.
Pick a different consonant, but yeah.
So, is Alan going to call us? Okay. All right. Okay, Styles. Make fights.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, tell him to call us in a little bit.
Styles is minus 120 for the head-to-head with Willard. I got him as an early favorite to shut you down.
Hey, once again, the reason I brought him up, and I only got one question for him, and then he can take it wherever he wants, and he can squawk about Chris Paul probably going to start and whatever he wants to do.
Ooh.
But he tweeted last night, and I'll get the tweet so I can read it word for word. But I read it, and I'm like, I just smiled. Because A, I love Alan. B, I know what he's doing. But also C, Alan, I know what you're doing. And he's like, so Brock's playing good, but I'm just saying it's probably nice to have C-Mac and Debo on your team. I'm just saying. And I get what's happening, which is, A, it's no longer popular to doubt Brock. But, hey, Alan, what is it you're really trying to say? I'm just saying. Well, okay. So that's my question.
All right. And he'll tell you what he's trying to say.
Really trying to say. Paul in Pleasanton with Willard and Dibs. Hey, Paul, what's up?
Hey, guys, at this point, 49ers, I don't think a single team can scare them. They're probably scared against them all. My one concern in the march to Las Vegas is Shanahan's past history in tightening up and choking in playoffs in tight situations. My question to you is, how much would having somebody like Purdy driving his offense would keep him loose in those tight situations? Think if you're leading by 4, 5 minutes to go, you got the ball, how aggressive you would be in those situations.
Listen, this is a really good question, Paul. I will say that I reject the premise that Shanahan should have the reputation for choking in big moments. I reject that. I understand why many feel that way. You and I have had the conversation about we're not doing this when he was the offensive coordinator. You can't put that on him.
Right.
And by the way, that wasn't a quote-unquote close situation. They were blowing the Patriots out. I put that more on the Falcons' defense. But some of the big moments, let's go to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I put that more on Jimmy, and not because of the Emmanuel Sanders throw. It's because of certain things he didn't see that were run open, and it was a turn down. He didn't throw it to George Kittle in a play that probably would have ended the game. But anyway, that's maybe splitting hairs. The bigger question he's asking is, would that change now that Purdy's the quarterback? I'll say this, I do think there's probably at least a developing new level of trust. Kyle Shanahan seems to be someone that probably has a hard time trusting the quarterback.
Absolutely.
And wouldn't you argue we're going to hit a new level of trust in the quarterback with Brock there as opposed to anyone else he's worked with the Niners.
And if you watch what Brock did last night, you mentioned the stat earlier about it was the highest percentage of blitzes in the history of defense since they started tracking things like blitz rate, and Brock Purdy made the right read most of the time. Now, early in the game, you had he forced one, and McCaffrey was open for what would have been an easy touchdown, and he didn't see it. But by and large, throughout the game, he got better against the blitz. He made the right reads, and Kyle Shanahan started to design and draw up great screen plays on that touchdown drive that ends with Ronnie Bell in the corner. They converted 3rd and 15 on a screen to Debo and 3rd and 13 on a screen to CMC. So Shanahan does trust Purdy more, and Purdy's seeing a lot more of what he needs to see out there.
I wonder if this does get somewhere toward the end. I also want to say, hey, it's a little early to be like, there's nobody out there who can scare the Niners. 2 weeks is on the phone. Let's see. I don't think anybody has seen anything in Dallas that looks anything short of elite this year. I understand that this has been the Niners ball game in the past couple of years, and I'm not saying they're scared of them, But I also have not. I don't think the Niners are like so far head and shoulders above the rest of the league,
right,
that it's just like, hey, Vegas, here we come. 3 weeks in, I don't know. Let's see. If they're both 4-0 in a couple of weeks,
yeah,
I can't wait to take a look.
If you're scouting opponents on Sunday, you're probably watching Dallas as opposed to watching Arizona, even though Arizona comes up next.
Yeah, I agree.
As a fan, Shanahan's probably doing it differently, but as a fan, I'm more interested in Dallas than Arizona.
For sure.